Alright, so just in case you want to figure this out when you get here, if you want to do this on your own, that of course was like the main entrance area for Diremaul here. And this is kind of the main area where you can decide. Now, there are alternate entrances to these, as you can even see. This is a little inaccurate on my handy notes add-on here. There's another entrance to Diremaul East over here. But if you want the entrance where the quest givers are, it's actually right here. So, Diremaul North was right over there. Diremaul East is right here.
The Gordok no like Dagthor, so he killed them. The stupid trees and goatmen no like Dagthor, so he want kill them too. Puny Tauren like Dagthor and help him take this place like for master, or does Dagthor need kill you too? Stupid tree keeps staring at Ambassador Dagthor. Me take quick nap earlier and stupid fast dib take book. Dagthor need book to follow orders, and Master need book to conquer. Grah! You, Tauren, help me get back. Get book from Imp and I give you shiny something. Go, Imp right there to the left. Kill! Blood of Lathandris has web to catch magic here. She use for herself, but Master want to use for good of whole world. You help get web from stupid elf, and not only will Dagthor reward you, you see how Master use it way better.
Obtain her web. But he's not the only quest giver here. There's also Fergus Warpwood. Now, yeah. Well, keep the name Warpwood in mind for later.
Greetings, young one. It is good to see a noble soul again. Diremaul, formerly...
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot to read the description of this dungeon for you guys. I apologize. Built thousands of years ago to house the Kaldorai's arcane secrets, the formerly great city of Eldrathalas now lies in ruin, writhing with warped, twisted forces. Competing covens once fought for control of Diremaul's corrupted energy, but they have since settled into uneasy truces, choosing to exploit the power within their own territories rather than continue to battle over the entire complex.
Formerly Eldrathalas is corrupt to its very core. I have watched my brethren fall to the forces of darkness and chaos. Many would have this place razed to the ground to end its horrors forever. But Diremaul is worth saving, mortal. Help me, and perhaps together we can unleash the vast power lost here for the forces of good as they once were so long ago. The satyr Alzin, the Wild Shaper, has exerted his corrupt dominion over this part of Eldrathalas. The fruit of fertility, now corrupted as the fell vine, should be close to Alzin. It may be the key to purify this ancient place. When the great satyr falls, capture whatever essence of the fell vine you can, seal it in this reliquary of purity, and bring it to me. Good luck and Cenarius' speed. The monster responsible for the ruin you see before you is called Alzin, the Wild Shaper. To reach him, however, you will need to also slay Zevrim Thornhoof, the satyr who currently holds the still noble ancient old Ironbark in his grasp. Once Ironbark is free, he will help you make an entrance into Alzin's domain. Enter and slay him without mercy, for there is no other way. You will find that Diremaul is filled with many nature and arcane elementals. Somehow a water elemental has found its way into this area. Please gather its essence and take it to me. I am curious as to how one of their kind got here, and what sort of agenda it may have against the natural elements of Eldrathalas.
So, yeah, the imp is right here. Pucelin.
Do you want to play a game, Stinky?
Game? Are you crazy?
What? If you want the key, you'll have to catch me.
And yeah, he's pretty fast. Like, you cannot catch him, like, even with sprint. So yeah, zing! You can see him just kind of speeding along. You'll also notice there's, like, of course... Gosh, I've done this quite a few times. Also, don't fall down here. It's possible to get back up here if you do, but it's kind of annoying to have to deal with. Also, I'll show you where the other entrance is that I mentioned. There he is right there, amongst the trash, because of course he's like, hey, protect me.
I hold the key to the lands of free. Chase me and you'll see.
Why, you little...
Chase me if you dare. I run without a care.
Yep. So this is the other entrance into Diremaul East, right there. This is why I recommended going to the other one, because then you'll be right where the quest givers are if you want to actually go ahead and do the quests here. So, I'm going to switch these, actually. There we go. I usually like to use F as, like, one of my go-to movement abilities. So, like, F and G are, of course, right next to each other, so I just kind of have F and G right there for, like, special movement ability boosts. Lots of wild lashers and treants and such, and hey, here he is again.
Still alive? You do surprise. Watch me as I flee.
Mark my words, I will catch you, Imp, and when I do...
Why would you ever want to harm me? Come, friends we can be.
So he's going to be running that away. And we're going to go ahead and pursue him, because that, you can see, that's actually one of the, I guess, the exits of this place. Whereas going this way will actually continue down the main pathway of this particular wing of the dungeon. So we'll go ahead and finish up with our little imp friend here before we continue with the actual main stuff. You'll find some other things here, like these satyrs. And of course, I've done these, while leveling and such, and you can see right away, and have to deal with some of these, because some of these can be kind of, rough to deal with, depending on, like, when you do it and, like, your group, but it's not too hard these days. I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Turn that frown upside down.
Die!
Die? You make Pucelin cry.
Yeah, I feel like our character got kind of... I don't know. I think we're a little too much of a jerk to this guy. I don't think we had to be like this.
This is the end of the line. No friend of mine.
Prepare to meet your maker.
Say hello to my little friends.
And he gets bigger. Sorry, Pucelin. Book of Incantations, and a recipe for a Rum-Tum Tuber Surprise. Classic cooking. That would restore health over 27 seconds, also increase your intellect by 2 for 10 minutes. This, of course, was back in the day where collecting recipes like that was kind of a relatively necessary thing to do. And let me see if I can actually go ahead and show you, or if we can even spot or take a look at this exit over here. Because I'm curious where it goes. If it goes to that other area that was marked on my map. Because I'm like, huh, what's this? Where does this go? Ah, see this little area right here? This is why it's marked like this. It's kind of a back door into the dungeon, I suppose. So if maybe you had done that part and your group was like, oh gosh, we gotta step out, we gotta take, like get prepared or take care of some stuff, it's like, oh, okay. So we're just gonna come out here. And voila. As Jordan and Zerash Fireblade. Interesting. Corrupted Dryads. I'm going to leave him alone. So let's just go on back inside. Just want to go ahead and show you guys that. The various different entrances and exits of this place. Although there isn't one... I don't think there is one when you actually beat the final boss of this particular wing of the dungeon. But whatever. So now that little run around with our imp friend is done... So we can go ahead and turn that in, but let's just go ahead and continue. So we can turn everything in once we actually finish it all up, right? I mean, that's usually the way to do it, right? You finish all the quests before you go turn them in. What? Really? By the way, when it comes to Feral, I've always wanted to like Feral. This has just always kind of been my issue here. Which is funny because I don't seem to have that much of an issue when it comes to, like, say, Windwalker. But there's just something about the way it works for Feral. Maybe it's also my playstyle that just doesn't really work for me. Which is why I've always went more to Bounce. But don't get me wrong, it's not like the idea behind Feral doesn't appeal to me. You know, playing as a cool, like, tiger-like cat and having lots of bleed damage. Like, the idea of that is really cool. But it's just never really gelled with me, so... I just realized I haven't really been doing what I should be doing. Although there really wasn't a boss up until this point. So, this is effectively the first boss of this wing. Because, like, our imp friend back there was not even listed here. Yeah, so... So this is effectively the first actual boss we encounter in this dungeon. This is Lethendris. Diremaul's warped energy drew Lethendris from afar, giving her hope of satisfying her unbearable craving for arcane magic. Using the sinews and ligaments of sacrificial victims, she constructed a web to siphon the corrupt power out of the East Wing. To her delight, she discovered that the device has the capacity to gather vast reserves of overwhelming strength, enough to destroy all of her enemies. Okay, yeah, you need to die, lady. Kind of an embarrassment to Blood Elves. There's her web. Got her cap. So I now have her cap as a transmog. Alright. So then, once we deal with her, we go down here, and this is where the rest of the dungeon really continues. Down here. So one boss, there's Thornhoof, he's above us, but then here's the water elemental that our friend was telling us about. This is Hydrospawn. When the satyr Zevram Thornhoof sought to control the elementals in Diremaul, he focused on Hydrospawn, who calmly resided in the pool beneath his altar. As he performed his profane sacrificial rituals, the elemental grew agitated and restless, striking out at Thornhoof's demonic minions. As the years passed, Thornhoof used his victims' energies to whip Hydrospawn to unbridled fury, little by little binding its will to the satyr's commands. I don't recall this guy being a tough fight these days. I think there's only one thing, which is I think I'm about to get hit by it. The geyser, if it throws me up in the air. No? No, I guess not. Okay. So now let's go deal with Thornhoof himself. Desperate to show his worth to the Burning Legion, Zevram Thornhoof told his masters that he could enslave the formidable ancients who still roam Diremaul. When his own power proved insufficient, Thornhoof turned to other living creatures for additional energy, butchering them atop his sacrificial altar and harvesting their essence in their final agonizing moments. So, of course, he's got a bunch of little imps here to help him out. think they're... If my memory recalls correctly... Yeah, he'll teleport a player onto the altar here. Sacrifice will stun the player and drain their health every second for 6 seconds. So the other players have to hurry if they want to save the life of the player that's been put on the altar here. And that is part of the encounter with him. So... let's now make our way here to the conservatory. So we can encounter the one we need to... There he is. Ironbark the Redeemed. So yeah, because we took care of that, we freed Ironbark here. So he's going to help us get to the main guy here we're after, Alzin.
Thank you, mortal. There is but one service that I may offer to you before I return to the dream. The door to Zevrim's master, Alzin, blocks your path. I shall act as your instrument of destruction. The door will be opened. I merely await your command.
Thank you, Ironbark.
We are ready for you to open the door. As you wish.
And this right here is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this as a druid. By the way, as he moves forward, we're having to kind of follow him and deal with these guardians here when they attack us, so... But yeah, he's about to return to the dream, as he said, but before he does, he wants to help us get to the guy who is, had a big hand in causing all this to happen, at least in this part of Diremaul.
My strength wanes, mortal. I have done as promised. The way is clear. I now return to whence I came.
And he dies. So now we deal with the one really responsible here. Alzin the Wild Shaper seeks nothing less than the total corruption of Feralas, but until he discovered the shrine of Eldrathar in Diremaul, he had little success. With the power of enslaved ancients at his command, Alzin concentrated the vitality of the surrounding forest into his lair, allowing him to manipulate it at will. So he'll have Enervate instead of Innervate, which is poison ability. He has Wither, which is disease, and he'll have Thorns. He can have tree, transform into, get his tree form, a direwolf form, summon minions. Yeah, he's a, yeah. If it takes too long, he can feel like a relatively tough boss fight. You'll see also he's got a 5-minute buff of, or 6 minutes, I guess, of Thorns. So. So he casts Wither on us. You can see some of the other stuff around here. Obviously, the little minions there. There's his direwolf form to attack us. Where he has 75% increased attack speed. You'll also see that tree there in the background. That also gives him 50% melee damage. The Gloves of Restoration. And you'll notice this tree is down now. A Felvine Shard. Now, I used to recall that this used to be able to somehow, go away or something. And I don't know if there's a way I can actually do that right now. Because I don't seemingly have a way to actually do so. I don't think. I'm not entirely sure about that. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. We can seal the shard in here. There we go. I guess, I don't know. I recall there used to be a way to actually open this thing, but I guess it's not working. So normally I would cut it off here, but I actually want to go ahead and show the turn-in of these quests. So, and this is one of the reasons why I chose Druid, because if I was on another class like my Death Knight, it would take us forever to get back there. Because now, yeah, we actually have to run all the way back if we actually want to turn these in. I do want to get better at Druid in general. I do. Like, I feel like I can do decently well on Resto, even though there are some things that I'm just, like, you know, not entirely sure or comfortable about doing. Like, when it comes to more complicated stuff, like, you know, casting heals and such, you know, that's obviously, you know, relatively easy to know what to do, especially when it comes to cooldowns and such. But when it comes to other things, you know, like, I feel like Resto doesn't have other certain, like, cleanse abilities. I'm not entirely sure about that. Or interrupts. I'm not really sure about that. But it's a class and spec I'm not entirely familiar with, but that goes for the class in general. I would say the one I know, probably know the best is Balance. I'm also trying to learn and get better at Guardian. And then, of course, there's Feral here, which I would like to get better at, but, you know. So now, look at all those ready for turn-in. Like I said, it's now just a matter of us actually getting back to the quest givers. So you're just going to have to give me a minute. Now these, we will take care of those when we get to the next wing. And that will be in the next part. And that is Diremaul West, which is basically the real story of Diremaul. And boy, oh boy. Like some other things in WoW, it's not a very pleasant, uplifting story. It's actually kind of dark. Especially involving this guy down here, which I find amusing that he's optional. I love that Stampeding Roar is usable in cat form. For some reason, I was under the impression that it could only be used in bear form, because I see Guardian Druids use it all the time. But to know that you can actually use it in all forms, including cat form, is great. I don't intend to have this druid be one of my alts or so when we actually get to... what was I in combat with? When I get to, Dragonflight. I was at Shadowlands, Dragonflight. But I'm not ruling it out. Maybe once it goes live, I'll find out more. I don't know.
With the sealed reliquary of purity in our possession, it will be possible not only to remove a corrupting threat from the world, but also to study it under our judicious watch. Perhaps we can even devise new means to combat the taint of corruption that ever threatens Azeroth. You have done well, Druid, and for that I am forever in your debt. Though the war is far from over, a great battle has been won against those who would bring about our doom. Please accept this gold as a token of my enduring gratitude. If we ever cleanse Diremaul, know that you will be welcomed here as a hero. Thank you. Very well done indeed. You have made an old spirit very happy this day. You deserve proper thanks for the risks you've taken. carry the essence? It is very troublesome that a water elemental was here, let alone one that powerful. Take this as my thanks for your efforts. I must examine this essence for any knowledge it may contain. This web have lots of magic. Master will be very happy now. And you make that doll happy, Torin. Take this and you believe how happy you make that doll. Now you watch Master use but to kill stupid trees and stupid goatmen. Yar!
And that is Diremaul East. Considered the easiest wing of Diremaul. And next up we will be doing Diremaul West, the main story of Diremaul itself. Which also has some extra connection to another quest line, which I've referred to on this channel before in another video, and I will share that later. Stay tuned.